It seems like we spend a fair amount of time as humans trying to alter alter our experience, alter what is, transform it in some way that we imagine would be better than what's presently here. And that better can look like a lot of different ways, right? Like happier, fuller, richer, freer, more awake, more sacred, more divine, more complete, more fulfilling, fill in the blank, right? And it can be useful, I think, to consider why are we doing that? I mean, what's that whole impetus to transform what's here, right? To get to some presumably better, greener grass on the other side, right? The search for something else would be another way to describe this. Why are we searching for something else? You can just think about that for a moment. Somehow, I'm going to suggest, we're searching for something else because we've already come to a conclusion without necessarily realizing this in any kind of conscious way. The system of us, if you will, has concluded that there's something that's not quite enough about this, right? It's somehow we feel as if we imagine that we've been able to pin this down and determine what it is, at least enough so that we can have concluded that, well, yeah, I've concluded that it's not enough, right? That it's lacking in some way, the moment. But is it? I mean, what's actually here right now? Can you, if you look at the moment and all the ways that we describe what's here and seem able to interpret it, I challenge you to try to come to a conclusion about what's here, to know what this is in a definitive way, like to be certain about what this moment is. And you may notice something right away as you're with what you call the moment of experiencing, which is always, always, always what we're with, right? This is so funny. We're never with the past. We're never with the future. We're never with a history. We're with this instant, right? So notice this instant that you call the instant now, this immediacy, and now try to conclude what it is, determine what it is, define it, and notice something, which is this perception that I'm inviting you to try to come to a conclusion about is not here long enough for you to come to a conclusion about it, is it? Don't feel your experience as things, feel it as experience. The flow, the aliveness, the ever-changing dynamism of your experience, which is just unmistakable, isn't it? It's alive. It's not something that's just like frozen in time, is it? It's got a movement to it, doesn't it? It would seem. It's got a dynamism to it. Feel that. I mean, here's another way to approach this inquiry, this discovery. Try to grasp hold of what you call the current perception, hold it in place, stop it from changing into something else. hold it in place with your consciousness, like you're studying it, like you would be studying something, an object to determine what it is. You're studying it, you're looking at it, you're right. So try to do that right now with the present moment, the so-called present moment. Try to hold it in place and notice that you just simply can't, can you? I mean, so here's this moment, boom, and then the next second comes, right? And clearly, I mean, what we've been together for the last 8 minutes since 10 my time. But clearly, I haven't been able to hold the last now 9 minutes. I haven't been able to hold on to them because they ain't here anymore, are they? Right? You got that? That's pretty obvious. So we're just doing like we're looking at this empirically. No fluff, no metaphysics, like we're just looking empirically at our experience. So you you obviously none of us have been able to hold on to the last 9 minutes or whatever amount of time you've been on the call, right? It's gone, isn't it? And but can you hold on to the last? Okay, now try to hold on to here's a second, 1001. Like, okay, hold on to that. Boom, it's just gone, right? You're with me, right? You can't hold it in place, can you? So I could break down the, 1001, how we used to count, like as kids counting 10 seconds, 1001. So the length of time of a second, it's like it's uh it's moving, right? It's moving. And in its movement, it's never arriving, is it? Never arriving such that you could go try to catch it, before it flies away. Try to catch the moment before it flies away. Can't do it. So this is very interesting because if you think about all the conclusions you and I throughout our lives have been, and every other human being has been drawing about what's here, all the ways we're rendering it, all the ways we're seeming able to grab hold of it, identify it, not just name it, but then come to a whole set of conclusions about its implications. Like, it's not quite good enough. It's not enough. I don't like it. It's a problem. It's a threat. Or, it's a benefit, or it's not only the negative connotations of it, but any conclusion, essentially. Um, how can you do that? If you can't hold on to the last second, half second, millisecond because it's gone, 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 right? Or you can't, if you think about all the narration, someone wrote me recently about all this ways the mind is narrating their experience and how frustrating that is. It's like we we do this, the intelligence of the universe is generating these narrations about what's here. But in the sense that I'm characterizing all of this right now, it's all imagined as a function of the way we're holding it conceptually, where how we're holding what's here, how it's being narrated. I mean, we're not really doing it in some sense that we could ever even begin to fathom, but it's happening such that it seems as if there are moments that endure enough that we can identify them and then talk about them, right, to ourselves, to one another, and so on, and then make various assessments about them. All of that's there. I'm not negating that experience. I'm just saying when we look empirically, we can start to see, like, wait a minute, that assumption of interpretability, of resolvability of the moment is a fantasy. We can't actually do it. I was listening to this beautiful recording, someone who was reading the Tibetan teacher Longchenpa, and Longchenpa's stuff is really quite exquisite to listen to if you have never listened to it before. And in this particular clip, I don't remember where it came from in Longchenpa's body of, work, but Longchenpa was speaking to the way in which phenomena that have vividly appear. I mean, the whole world is vividly appearing. The world of, the outer world, so-called, and the inner world. It's all vividly appearing. I mean, vividly. It's not like ambiguously here. It's vividly here, palpably here, concretely here. This is what's quite trippy about this. It's not like a fuzzy mirage that's so obviously a mirage. It's a it's a concretely present, vivid appearance, right? And he was saying in these passages about how phenomena have no actual basis. They have no, they are without ground. They have no root. They have no foundation. And one could hear that. I mean, I think this can be sometimes the challenge of hearing things like somebody like Longchenpa is that what does that mean exactly? And how do I discover that? Well, it means exactly what I was just sharing with you, that the moment, the phenomena appearing in the moment have no identity. That's what's meant by they have no basis. They have no root, no ground. They have no essence. They're essenceless. And how do we discover that? Well, one very powerful, simple way is to just feel that there's not a ground here that you can grasp hold of. That, in other words, the phenomena that are appearing that you would think would be your foundation of like what you can count on, the concrete presence of your experience and all the phenomena. Like I can bank on all this stuff that's here as actually being here. That's the, people say, don't be lost in the clouds, be grounded here, in this reality. Um, what I'm pointing to, inviting you to notice about your own experience is its groundless nature, is its empty nature, empty of, it's like peeling away the layers of the onion and finding there's nothing at the center of it. There's no core, there's no essence to the onion. You can't say what that is, right? You can't determine it. It's without foundation. And that's its, you hear this expression, that's the mirage-like nature. Vividly appearing, all of this, but fundamentally um, not here. Here, but not here. Because what we think of as being here is gone as it seems to become. It's gone, right? Because you can't hold on to the current perception, which is how we know the world, right? You feel that? And so all of the conclusions, this is the implications of this, is that all of the conclusions that the mind draws about what's here are not accurate because you can't actually tell a story about something that's here for no time, though it seems like we can. It's like discovering the dreamlike nature of the dream, that it's here, but insubstantial at the same time, as seemingly contradictory as that appears to be. It's literally our experience right now is this groundlessness, this never, the moment never becomes something, even though it's constantly suggesting that it's become something, right? And that's the world that's what's being perceived is the very strong suggestion of the universe of like, here I am, and here's what I look like right now, and here's how I seem to be descriptively, and there it all is, and we all know what that's like. And yet we are simultaneously experiencing the groundless, rootless, identityless ungraspability of this. And that's one way to characterize the implications of that, if you will, is a boundless, and you'll hear these descriptions in different traditions, including the out of the mouth of somebody like a Longchenpa, is the limitless expanse, the boundlessness of this. It's just poetry because, again, I just got through saying, and others like me, like a Longchenpa, talk about the unfindability of this, the rootless, groundless nature of it. You can't say anything about it. But we're using language, and so one way to characterize the non-thingness of it, that it transcends its seeming phenomenal nature, is to describe it as this boundless space-like, right? Because as consciousness travels around the field of what's here, call it experience, you could say consciousness experience traveling within experience. It thinks it's running into this and that and can distinguish this from that and this is good and this is not so good and that whole thing. But really, at the level of just experience itself and in its dynamic, fathomless nature, we're never running into anything. Like what's sitting here right now is not a circumscribed, identifiable person sitting in a circumscribed, identifiable body. I mean, it's appearing as that, but feel this, the rootlessness of this, the constant slipping away of the ever dissolving nature of this, and feel what's left is, well, you can't really say, but it's just wide open, the wide open expanse of mystery that's sitting here. I mean, endlessly open because you never hit a thing, a wall. You never run into something because there aren't any things. Not really. And you're not a thing running into other things. You're the boundless, fathomless, right? It seems, again, like things take form, they concretize, and hence are reifiable as things by the interpreting consciousness. But we're just looking and seeing, well, does that really hold up when you look? What's sitting here right now? Pure space, pure intelligence. I mean, again, it's poetry. Well, what do those words mean? It's not a thing, but it seems like it has a kind of characteristic of, again, throwing poetic words out at a vibrancy, an aliveness, a presence. Like it's here, right? It's not like nothing, right? And what's that like? To feel the no thingness of this, the boundaryless boundlessness of this, that you're not running into anything in experience. It's absolute open-ended indescribability, isn't it? Slipping away faster than we could possibly grasp hold of it. And yet, it just keeps radiating its vivid display. That doesn't go away, does it? Like it's not like suddenly the world's blinking on and off. It's like it's on. It's projection. It's creative activity is to create what it creates, the seeming forms of the world. It's beautiful, it's stunning, it's remarkable. But it's very much a light show in the sense of its ungraspable, non-reifiable nature, isn't it? It's not as solid as we imagine it to be.